Ramai pemimpin di luar sana ya menyatakan senang untuk bekerjasama dengan Perdana Menteri kita Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, dan ini menunjukkan betapa credibility dan juga kepimpinan ya sebagai seorang pemimpin negarawan Perdana Menteri ya, satu kualiti yang begitu hebat sekali, dan saya percaya kualiti inilah yang sedang dicemburui oleh pembangkang walaun-walauntit, lebay-lebay, ustaz-ustaz, ustazah daripada PAS yang siang hari, siang malam ya mereka membuat hasutan, membenci dan menfitnah Perdana Menteri kita dan kerajaan hari ini, terutamanya isu minyak dan sebagainya. Yang salah kerana ada masalah wifi di stesen minyak, tapi yang dimaki hamun Perdana Menteri kita. Begitulah sikap melampau parah walaun-walauntit, sahabat semua. Jadi tanpa membuang masa, saya ingin membawakan anda untuk menonton ucapan Perdana Menteri kita Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim dalam satu program yaitu Forum Keselamatan Sosial Dunia tahun 2025.
Sekali lagi Kementerian Keselamatan dan KSO dapat menganjur satu sidang yang sangat penting, mengumpulkan tenaga yang punya keprihatinan terhadap permasalahan masyarakat di bawah perlindungan sosial. Dan saya percaya ini akan memberikan sambutan serta usul untuk kita perbaiki langkah-langkah yang sedia diambil dan mungkin ditingkatkan untuk mengurangkan tekanan dan beban. Seperti mana kita tahu, kita melonjak ke alam dan dunia digital, pertumbuhan yang lebih segar, teknologi baru. Tetapi kejayaan kita tidak harus ditandai dengan mercu kemegahan bangunan, tetapi juga keselesaan kepada masyarakat. Dan inilah yang menjadi teras dalam negara Madani. Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, of course, it is a rare honor and pleasure to welcome you to this forum. We are indeed grateful for your presence, support, and proud to have delegates from across the world gathered in our largest metropolis. We are proud, of course, of this city. We are keen to show how far we have come in the last decades. Return home with souvenirs, including that bear the image of our Twin Towers. But I would like you to know that on the way to this stage, within living memory, whole communities, as alluded to by Minister Stephen Sim, lived in utter destitution. I remember vividly, over 50 years ago, in 1974, I was a young student leader in the rural town of Balik in North Malaysia. I stood with farmers who could barely feed their families. They were protesting hunger and rising prices. Supporting them led to my detention under ISA, not ISSA. There was the Internal Security Act. Otherwise, doctors might be in trouble. So, 2 years detention without trial because of our passion to assist and champion the cause of the poor and the destitute. I saw how poverty strips away opportunity. I saw how injustice had the potential to leave scars that would last generations. And I learned that solidarity and the struggle for justice can restore dignity and hope. Those early experiences, shared by many of us, must shape our conviction that a society is measured not only by its skyline, but how it protects the most vulnerable. The idea of social security was not born in time of plenty, but in the cauldron of hardship. It grew out of the last century when societies battered by exploitation, depression, war, and came to a simple conclusion that no nation can thrive if its workers and families are left to fend for themselves. After the Second World War, that conviction was enshrined in international instruments such as the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The world affirmed that labor is not a commodity and that social security is a right. For decades, this belief reshaped countries across continents. It inspired welfare states in Europe, underpinned stability in Asia, and gave millions in the developing world a chance at dignity after centuries or decades of exploitation, harlom, parlom, under colonization, imperialism. But the systems built for the 20th century are under severe strain. They assume steady jobs, predictable lifespans, and gradual change. Those assumptions no longer hold. As in famous T.S. Eliot's dictum, between the ideals and the realities lies the shadow. Work today defies neat categories. Industries rise and fall in a matter of years. Populations age faster than pension systems can adapt. Climate change uproots families and redraws entire coastlines. But we know that the ongoing uprooting of families in Gaza, carried out at an entirely different scale, is not caused by climate change, but the actions of a Zionist state which respects no international law and consistently violates humanitarian principles. This genocide, perpetrated by Israel against the Palestinian people, warrants unequivocal condemnation and is no mere political soundbite. It illuminates the grave violations of human rights that impact the fabric of social security worldwide, undermining the inalienable rights of people to safety, dignity, and access to essential services. As we address social security on a global scale, we must have the courage to confront these systemic injustices. As silence on such atrocities renders any discussion of social security hollow and inadequate. I certainly have to reiterate this point, because we are dealing with social security. We're talking about human dignity, gross injustice, and perpetration of atrocities against innocent civilians, women, and children. So in this regard, the courageous actions of individuals participating in the flotilla to Gaza signify a powerful stand against oppression and the overwhelming solidarity with the people of Gaza. The involvement of international activists, including 34 from Malaysia, underscores the importance of collective global responsibility in challenging state-sponsored violence and terrorism and advocating for the rights of the Palestinian people. Now, our consistent condemnation of Zionist occupation and settler colonialism of Palestine is a testament to our commitment to justice. It transcends national boundaries. most of our countries and those participants here have experienced colonization, experienced the indignity and gross exploitation and dehumanization under foreign rule. So it should not be something obscure and tough to comprehend. An effective discourse on world social security must therefore recognize and integrate these realities. What we need now is a new vision, one that reflects today's realities and prepares us for the challenges still ahead. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in Malaysia, we have sought to frame this renewal through the concept of Malaysia Madani. It talks about sustainability, inclusivity, and compassion towards every single man, woman, and child. These are not new inventions. They are enduring truths. And in a turbulent age, they seem to be more relevant than ever. And these values connect directly to the purpose of social security. Sustainability means protecting future generations, not only ourselves. Prosperity means opportunity that is shared, not hoarded. Innovation means recognizing new forms of work and ensuring they are not left exposed. Respect and trust are shown when institutions are reliable and well governed. Compassion, ihsan, is felt when no one is abandoned in their time of need. At its heart, social protection is not a bureaucratic system of benefits. It is a moral infrastructure. Earlier civilizations understood this. In the Islamic tradition, for example, the Baitul Mal ensured that wealth served the poor, the widowed, the orphan, and the elderly. The legacy of justice and solidarity continues to inspire us. Guided by these principles, Malaysia is reshaping its own social protection. We're extending security to those who have long stood outside the net. The informal worker, the homemaker, the gig rider who delivers to our doors but enjoys little security in return. And I must commend Minister Siban Sim and his ministry for this commitment and continued harassment in the cabinet to ensure that we pass these laws. Thank you. We are presently preparing for an aging society. By 2030, 1 in 7 Malaysians will be over the age of 60. This will change the shape of our society in profound ways. We must be ready for it. Older citizens carry wisdom and skill. Our task is to provide care when it is needed, but also to enable continued contribution so that aging is seen as a stage of dignity and possibility. We are also moving to strengthen our legal framework. For example, the government will soon introduce the non-employment injury scheme to ensure workers are protected not only during office hours but beyond them. This stems from a realization that the pressures of work do not stop at the factory gate or the office door. In an age of flexible and remote arrangements, this reform will align protection with the realities of how people work and live today. And crucially, it will extend coverage around the clock, recognizing the accidents and injuries do not keep to a timetable. At the same time, we are embedding digital systems so that protection can be delivered more effectively. And no community, however remote, is left unseen. Progress is ongoing, though far from perfect, but the conviction that guides us is clear. True prosperity is not measured by the size of our skyscrapers or GDP, but by the dignity of ordinary citizens, how they live their daily lives. No country can face these challenges alone. In all humility, we acknowledge that. Therefore, under the collaboration with experts, with friends who have same desire, commitment is essential. Because the pressures of our time, climate change, technological disruption, migration, displacement, no borders. If capital can cross continents in search of profit, then a measure of solidarity too must cross borders in the name of justice. We must begin to see social security as part of a global ecosystem. That ecosystem can take many forms: stronger financing for protection laws, global funds created for health and climate, fairer taxation across borders, and the sharing of expertise and technology so that no country is left behind. A world fractured by inequality cannot endure. Neither a country, nor a region, nor the global community can endure such gross inequality, particularly due to an oppressive system that do not recognize the dignity of our workers. I believe that this forum is an integral part of that work. It's an opportunity to reaffirm justice and solidarity as the foundations of stability. And so, with the words, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, I hereby officiate the World Social Security Forum 2025. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.